When Picasso encountered African sculpture for the first time over a century ago, it was a revelation for him. Unbeknownst to him, these sculptures were not seen as art, but as a bridge between the African people and the mysterious forces of the natural world. To make peace with these forces, Africans created physical representations of themselves, infusing these sculptures with sacred properties. African sculptures profoundly influenced Pablo Picasso, especially during the development of Cubism in the early 20th century. This influence is most evident after 1907, following Picasso's encounter with African art at the Musée d'Ethnographie du Trocadero in Paris. Picasso himself never explicitly stated that he was influenced by African art, but the timing of his stylistic change coincides with the period when stolen African sculptures were being displayed in museums and exhibitions in Europe. These artifacts, which were then referred to as African art, were characterized by their abstract and geometric shapes, very different from the realistic and naturalistic depiction common in Western art of the time. Such elements made a significant impression on many artists of the early 20th century, including Picasso. Until the lions have their own historians, the tales of the hunt will always glorify the hunter. In this video, we will challenge the viewer to rethink the notion of African art and to appreciate the deep spiritual and cultural significance of African masks and statues. These are not mere artifacts to be displayed, but are living embodiments of a rich heritage that continues to inspire and influence both African and global cultures. The term African art, widely used in galleries and museums across the globe, is a Western construct. This categorization encompasses an array of items, from masks and sculptures to statuettes crafted from wood, ivory, bronze, and gold, many of which were appropriated during the colonial era or encountered by Westerners visiting Africa. These items, however, are not art in the traditional Western sense, which often focuses on the material and visible, aiming to replicate the beauty of nature and the physical world in paintings and sculptures. In contrast, African cultures perceive the universe as a blend of the material, spiritual, also known as Ba, and energetic, also known as Ka, with the latter two holding precedence over the material realm. This holistic view manifests in the creation of objects that serve not as mere representations of the visible world, but as vessels for the invisible, the spirits, deities, and ancestral forces that govern existence. These masks and statues, often crafted at the behest of spiritual leaders, embody the invisible energies and beings they are meant to invoke. Far from decorative items, they are integral to rituals and ceremonies, acting as conduits for the spiritual forces they represent. We are going to embark on a journey through the history, types, and roles of these sacred objects within various African cultures, offering a glimpse into their true purpose and the profound meaning they hold. From the ancient masks of the Benin Kingdom to the iconic funerary mask of Tutankhamun in Egypt, and the diverse masks of West and Central African cultures, each piece tells a story of connection with the spiritual world. Despite the rich cultural legacy of Nigeria and other African countries, many significant African sculptures, labeled as artwork by the West, remain housed in Western institutions, leading to debates about their rightful ownership and the ethics of their acquisition. Critics of restitution argue that African nations are incapable of properly caring for their own artifacts, suggesting that these should remain in the West for preservation and global appreciation. This clearly exposes the persistence of the erroneous concept of racial superiority in the West. The seeds of racism that resulted in the plundering of these spiritual objects from the African continent persist to this day. This stance points out the flaws in the logic that denies African countries the right to their historical artifacts. If Western nations stopped siphoning Africa's natural resources, Africa would be wealthy enough to restore, protect, and preserve their cultural heritage. In February 2024, a California museum returned 7 royal Ashanti artifacts to the traditional king during his Silver Jubilee, marking a significant act amid growing calls for the restitution of African treasures looted during colonial times. The Fowler Museum's ceremony in Kumasi saw the transfer of items, including a gold necklace and an ornamental chair, to the Ashanti monarch. This event, coinciding with the 150th anniversary of the 1874 Anglo-Asante War, highlighted the resilience of the Ashanti people. The Fowler Museum, unlike other institutions, imposed no conditions on the return. This act follows similar initiatives, such as the British Museum and the Victoria and Albert Museum's decision to lend looted Asante treasures back to Ghana. Additionally, Nigeria is negotiating the return of artifacts looted from the ancient kingdom of Benin, with Benin having received stolen treasures from French colonial forces 2 years prior. The restitution of these artifacts represents a pivotal moment in addressing the historical injustices of colonialism and reuniting communities with their cultural heritage. The Sudan, known as the Land of the Blacks, spans from the east to the west across Africa, featuring arid steppes and grassy savannas, with the Niger River playing a crucial role in the region's geography. The art of the Western Sudan is characterized by hereditary artist groups known for their unique styles, including elongated human figures and helmet masks with animal features. The Dogon people have maintained their ancient religion and are celebrated for their art and complex cosmology. The Dogon view the stool as a symbolic arc through which Amma, the creator, dispatched the 8 forebears of humanity from the heavens. The dual discs symbolize the realms of heaven and earth. The upper chevrons signify rain, and the lower ones symbolize the flow of water, essential for life's sustenance. The depicted figures, with arms uplifted, are mythical forebears adorned with the traditional diadem, featuring 4 strands of beads across the forehead, highlighting their femininity. Their gesture of raising arms is a plea for rainfall. The art of the west coast of Africa, dominated by the Asante, Dahomey, and Yoruba kingdoms, known for its smaller, polished black objects and preference for organic forms, contrasts with that of the Western Sudan. The Jella mask is a prominent aspect of the Bassa men's society, designed to hang over the forehead from a disc-shaped headpiece, allowing visibility through a cloth beneath. It features a dance with smooth and feminine movements, mirrored by the mask's realistic facial details. Unique elements include wooden pegs for hairpins, carved teeth, and small holes for attaching human hair, alongside detailed tattoo patterns represented through cross-hatching and triangular designs. The Cameroon grasslands, one of Africa's most densely populated art regions, are renowned for their vibrant and voluminous art forms, including figures, masks, and architectural ornaments, primarily created for kings and palace societies, characterized by their dynamic and expressive energy. The Congo River Basin, central to Africa's diverse landscapes, has fostered unique sculptures characterized by a variety of styles, materials, and types of objects. Eastern Africa showcases remarkable geographic and cultural diversity, featuring landscapes from deserts and mountains to lush hills, and a wide range of ethnic groups including Bantu speakers, Khoisan, and those of Arab African descent. In the southern region of Africa, various Nguni-speaking ethnic groups, including the Zulu, are recognized for their warrior prowess and the leadership of Shaka, who established a formidable military empire in the 19th century. Let me know your thoughts in the comments section. I would like to say a special thank you to all of our subscribers, Nubian storytellers. Join our Discord and share your knowledge with like-minded people. Be proud of your African heritage. We have a great past and an even greater future. See you soon.